Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, I want to say welcome. On this channel I do a lot of home DIY projects and different type of crafting. In today's video I am going to be sharing 6 home decor that I have created with items that I have sitting around my home for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So guys, this is an old basket that I have received from my neighbor a long time ago. She always picks stuff up for me. As she know, I'm always crafting. I always take them because I know someday I will find a purpose for them. So for this challenge, I did not want to spend any extra money. So I was literally walking around my house looking for stuff that I could use to create something for this challenge. Sorry. Oh boy, here we go again. Tongue twisters. So all I'm doing here, guys, I'm just taking these yarn. I don't know what these are called. I also received it from my neighbor. So all I'm doing, I'm taking those yarn or whatever it is. If you guys know what it is, please go ahead and drop me a comment in the comment section on what it is. So I'm wrapping that around the handle of the basket and I'm doing it very gentle. It looks like I'm going real fast, but that's because I speed this video up 5 times the amount of time that I was doing this. So I'm gently wrapping the yarn around the handle of the basket. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to wrap the bottom of the basket around the sides. Once I was done wrapping on the handle, I used my hot glue gun to secure the yarn at that point. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out if I should do the whole basket or I should expose a little bit of the basket. So I have decided to do around the basket and expose a little bit of the wick from on the basket. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap the yarn around the basket until I achieve my desired look. So as you guys can see, every now and then I use my hot glue gun to secure the yarn as I wrap it around the basket. This is already starting to looking so good. But I gotta tell you guys, like when my neighbor gave me these yarn, I kept saying yarn because I don't know what it's called, so I'm gonna call it yarn for this video. She gave me 2 rolls of those and I had no idea what I would be doing with these, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put it in my stash because I'm pretty sure someday I'll find a purpose for it. And I'm so excited that I found this while digging through my stash to find stuff to create for this challenge. Speaking of challenge, the host of this challenge is Glamorous Ellen. Guys, please feel to go ahead and check out Glamorous Ellen's channel. The link of her channel will be in my description box below. Also, there will be a playlist, so feel free to go ahead and check those guys out as well. If you guys are enjoying this video thus far, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up as well. And there we go, I'm all done wrapping the yarn on my basket. I didn't like how the top of that part of the basket looked, so I went in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color of white to touch that up so my basket could look a little bit newer. Oh wow, look at that. You can already see the difference. Look how nice that looks. Nice and white against the pink. Absolutely beautiful. So guys, if I should do this over, I would paint the top of my basket first before I put my yarn on. But like I said, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just styling, and as I go along, whatever looks good, I keep it. So if you notice, I'm using my finger, my index and my thumb to hold down the yarn as I paint the top of the basket so I won't get paint on the yarn. Once I was done painting the top part of the basket, I set it aside to dry for a few minutes. And this is what my basket looked like after I styled it and placed it in my bathroom on my counter. It's so beautiful, and the whole story behind this, I'm trying to cheer up someone who has a loved one who's battling with breast cancer. You know, sometimes it's very hard. I work in the healthcare field, and I've seen people who have been in the hospital for days, haven't been home to relax in their own bathroom. You know, so my whole thing is just trying to give them a day at the spa while being in the hospital or while struggling or battling with breast cancer. Now we're on to DIY number 2. For this project, you're going to need a cutting board from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some skewers. You're going to need a hot glue gun. Of course, some glue stick. So guys, this cutting board I already had on hand. I've used it in previous DIY project, and I pulled that apart, and I'm going to use it to create something new. I also had those skewer stick on hand. So there we go. This project did not cost me anything, and if so, it would only cost me $2. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm using the smaller skewer stick. You can find the taller one, well, technically not smaller, shorter. You can find the taller one, and you can find the shorter one. So I'm using the shorter one as it's just about almost the same size as the cutting board. So what I'm doing here, I'm going right across and I'm staggering it. Each one I put longer on one side, shorter on the other side. Longer on the other side, shorter on the other side. And what I'm using for my guide, if you notice inside the cutting board, the little box that in the middle where you can see close to the edge. So I'm using that for my guideline. If you notice, watch what I'm doing. I put it right in that line right there, and then I leave it right there. And that's it, easy peasy. On the other side, I'm going to do the same thing right on that line and leave the other part to hand. And that's all I'm doing. I'm going back and forth, push and pull, back and forth, push and pull. On this side, I go right there. The other side, I go on the other line. And that's all I'm doing to get everything to have a nice finished look. Nice design, nice texture, nice everything would look level at the end product. I gotta say, this was very relaxing to create this piece. I had a lot of fun. I was in my own world creating it. So I want to put it out there, guys, for all us females. Please make sure you check in with your doctors. Please make sure you do your mammogram. Once you get to that age to do it, please make sure you're doing your breast exam at home, because this thing is no joke. Once I got to the top of the cutting board, I'm going to be using my cutter and my box cutter to cut these sticks down. So there we go. I'm measuring the skewer, then I'm going to use my cutter to mark a line, then I'm going to cut that. Once I cut my skewer to fit, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my sandpaper. I think that's 100 grit, and I'm sanding the roughness off. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my hot glue gun to secure that skewer. If you do not have a cutter, you could also use a knife or a box cutter. I'm going to show you guys how I use my box cutter. You just have to apply a little bit of pressure and then break it. Then you sand it down, use your hot glue, and secure that to the cutting board. Once I was done applying the skewers to the cutting board, I went ahead and I used some polyurethane, the min wax, and a semi-gloss finish to apply over the skewers to give a nice finished look. So I'm using a foam sponge brush to apply the polyurethane, and I'm gonna leave that to dry for a few hours. I think it's 3 to 4 hours. Yes, you could already see the difference, even though it's not dry yet, but you could see the difference with the sheen on it. I love it already, and it's not done. Yay! So once my cutting board was dry, I went ahead and I have some letters that I got in the clearance section at Joann's Fabric. And I gotta tell you, my great grandmother, her name is Rebecca, we call her Becky. She passed away a few years ago from breast cancer. Yes, guys, the story behind this, she had fought breast cancer for years. She ended up lost one of her breasts, and she was cancer free for 5 years. Then it came back, it took her other breast, and then she was breastless, and and it came back, and it decided, I'm not gonna stop until I take you, so yes, guys, it's not easy. You gotta check, you gotta make sure everything is going right, not just with breast cancer, but just check on your health. And fortunately, there are some stuff that we can't help. It's genetic, but when you can prevent is better than to cure, I'm telling you. So anyways, I was here fighting with this bow, trying to see what direction would it look good. So I placed the bow on top there. I didn't have any solid pink ribbon. I had this pink and white ribbon on hand, so I chose to use that. So I removed the bow because I did not like where it was, so I remove it and put it lower. And this is what my cutting board turned out to look like. I have it in my kitchen, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now we're on to DIY number 3. Again, this is an old picture frame that I had on hand. I received it from my neighbor. Yes, my neighbor. She always collects stuff for me. You'll hear me say that over and over. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, I have an extra piece of poster board left over, and I'm using my square to measure that out. Then I'm gonna use my scissors to cut it out, and I'm going to try to fit it right in the center where you see those wording, because I want to put my own word in that space. So guys, believe it or not, this frame is so old. It was sold for $8.99 plus tax on August 4th, 1918. So all I'm doing here, I'm trying to pull this frame apart. I'm trying to figure out where to start. But as I peel the paper off, I realized that it's not the regular type of backing that I'm used to in my days now. So I tried to use my little floral cutter, as I was too lazy to go get the pliers, to pull those staples out. After pulling the staples out, I then realized that this frame It's not like a regular picture frame, so I decided to, you know, trim my poster board down smaller and place it from the front. These wall decor stickers I got from the Dollar Tree as well. I had it on hand for a while. I just like to take up lettering and words whenever I go to the Dollar Tree, as sometimes it's very hard to find. So this sticker said, "Let go and let God." So I'm just applying that to my poster board. Yeah, these stickers sometimes can be a pain in the... As you guys can see, I'm there like contemplating where to make sure because once you put it down, it's hard to get it back up. So that's what I'm there trying to measure to make sure it doesn't look crooked. Once I was done applying my sticker, I went for my paper glue and I applied some to the back of my poster board, and then I placed it right in the center of where you see that word dragonfly. Okay. After I added the letter, I felt like it needed something else, and I really didn't want to paint this frame, as I recently did a DIY and painting frame. So I went for my Mod Podge and some glitter. And I tell you, your girl glittered this out. Bling, 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 ding, ding, bling. I went ahead and I bling out the frame. Yes, guys, if I should have done this over, I wouldn't take the last step where you see me, I'm going and dry brushing glitter in the second layer of the frame just close to the words. So now everything just got out of hand and I start glittering and blinging everywhere. I mean, it ended up turning out looking good, but I think I'm gonna fix it because I really like that wording. I wanted to let people know who are battling or fighting breast cancer, or if you have a friend, share this video with them, because I want them to know that they need to let go and let God, leave it in the hands of God. Okay, so this is what my frame turned out to look like. It doesn't look bad. I like it. It's not my favorite, but it looks pretty good. Now we're on to DIY number 4. So these are some bottles that I have on hand. I took them outside and I gave it a coat of spray paint. It's not perfectly paint because it's cold outside and it's raining. I found these crushed shell in the clearance section of Joann's Fabric, so I'm bringing out my Mod Podge, my glitter, and all my bling bling ding ding. So I'm taking my bowl and my spoon and I'm gonna pour some of my crushed shell in the bowl and I'm gonna mix that around. But look at that, guys, that look like candy. Oh, actually matches my blouse. I didn't realize that, but that looks like sugar pop candy. Thank God I don't have any kids. They would have get into it and eat it, think it's candy. No, I don't think so. I'm not that reckless. I would have put it away properly. So now we're just adding a few teaspoons and tablespoons. We're baking up our bling and our crushed shell. Mix, mix, and we're gonna mix and mix and mix and mix and shake and mix, okay? So once we're done mixing up our portion here, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get another bowl, okay? So what I'm gonna do with this bowl, I'm gonna hold the bottle over the bowl. I'm gonna apply my Mod Podge and I'm gonna use a foam sponge brush to spread that out. And then once I'm done spreading out my Mod Podge, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my mixture of crushed shell with bling bling ding. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fill my hand with some of the crushed shell and I'm just gonna slightly spread it over the bottle, and I tap it as I spread the shell, so the excess will fall in the blue bowl, and I will just shake that out and I just repeat the same step over and over like you see I'm doing it. Dropping the bowl, I pick it up and I apply it. By the way, how are you guys doing today? Type me a comment and let me know how your day was today. So guys, in front of the bottle there is a small square design and I want to leave that out. So if you notice, I'm applying the Mod Podge, I don't know if you could see clearly, around that area. So once I'm done applying the Mod Podge around that area, I'm going to go ahead and spread my crushed shell and I'm going to leave that area blank. I won't put any crushed shell in that area, okay? And that's it. It's pretty simple. It's already starting to looking beautiful. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just using my finger and I'm making sure that there is no crushed stone on the area that I don't want any stone. So I have to clean that off while the Mod Podge is wet before it gets dry. Because then when it gets dry, it's hard to peel off. So now I'm just gonna set my bottle to the side to dry for a few hours. Now I'm on to bottle number 2. Oh, just in case you guys are interested, these bottles are from Trader Joe. They have the sparkling water in it. So if you're looking for a bottle with the same type of shape and style, go check out Trader Joe. I didn't go to Trader Joe. I found these bottles while walking Fiona. Yup, that's correct. I found them while walking my dog. You don't have to use this type of bottle anyways. You could use wine bottle, whichever bottle you have on hand. But in case you want those bottles, Trader Joe, baby. So for this bottle number 2, I was trying to create a different design. So I'm starting from the top and then I'm going to work my way down. I'm just applying my Mod Podge. I'm spreading that how I want it, and you guys can see I'm going like in a little icicle looking like going down. So because originally what I wanted to do with this bottle was to, like, you know, give it like teardrop or like icicle drop going all the way down. Not so instead of doing the whole bottle, I would do some part of the bottle, but it was being very time consuming. I did that first one and then I went ahead and I did a second one. Oh wow, this actually is starting to look beautiful. Look at that. It's very pretty. Okay guys, so I decided to change my mind when I got to the front of the bottle, as it was just taking up too much time and it didn't look the way how I wanted it to look. It looks good, but not how I wanted it to look. So I went ahead and this is what I did. I put crushed stone on the whole bottle. Yes, the whole bottle. Everything is, it's full. So once I was done applying my crushed shell, I kept saying crushed stone, but it's crushed shell. Once I was done doing that, I went in with my Mod Podge sealer and I sprayed that in. It's at a semi-glass. It looks absolutely beautiful, but then I had to go back in and I put some more crushed shell with a little bit of Mod Podge to some bald spot that I was seeing. So once I did that and everything is nice and sealed in and filled in, I apply a little bit more glitter to give it a little bit more, you know, glam to it. Once I was done applying more glitter to the bottle, I went ahead and I gave it another coat of sealer just to seal in those so they won't fall out all over my home. I also went ahead and applied some Mod Podge to the rim of the bottle up at the top. And once I was done applying the Mod Podge, I wanted to go ahead and dip the bottle in the crushed shell, but that wasn't a smart idea. So I leave my bottle to dry overnight and it's fully dry. So I went ahead and I have some jam glam here and I create the breast cancer sign in the white area that I left open. and then I went around the edge of that and I used some more of my glam just to finish it off so you could have a nice finished look. I went ahead and I placed one candle inside of each bottle. And this is what my bottles turned out to look like. I love them. They are so pretty. I love the one with the breast cancer sign the most. Please type me a comment in the comment section and let me know which one of these bottles was your favorite. Now we're on to DIY number 5. These are leftover flower and picks from my spring and summer floral arrangement. So again, this didn't cost me anything. Yes, it did, and no, it didn't, because I didn't spend extra money for this challenge. I already had stuff on hand. So I was originally gonna make a front door wreath, but then I changed my mind and I'm like, you know what? How about I make a bouquet? You know, sometimes a bouquet, someone sending you a flower or something, it just means a lot. And so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna arrange a bouquet. So all I'm doing here, guys, I'm just playing around with the flowers to try to get them in the right position. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be using my pink and white stripe ribbon to make a bow. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use a small piece of my jute twine to tie around my bow. I had nothing else on hand that would match my ribbon but that. So it works. It actually looks beautiful. This is what it turned out to look like. I placed it on my ottoman and it's absolutely beautiful. So now we're on to DIY number 6. We're on to the last DIY. So guys, I came up with this because I have extra amount of shell leaf and I don't want to like waste anything, and I didn't want to put it back in the bag. So I went ahead and I took a vase that I already had on hand, some candle, and one of the plate from the Dollar Tree that I already have on hand, and some greenery that I already have on hand, and I just placed the shell inside of the crushed shell inside of the vase with the candle, place it on the plate. Then I went ahead and I put those greenery around it. It's very simple, quick and easy. Not everybody's into the whole glam jam or into, some people just like very simple and nice stuff. So there we go. This is very quick, easy, and simple. That's all I did. As you may notice, I am putting these flowers together because I used them on previous project. So I just went like kind of like in my stash and I picked those out. So I'm putting them back together. Thank God I didn't throw away the stem. And that's just what I'm doing. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. After putting away the pink flowers, I found these 2 little pieces, guys. So I just throw them in there. And I think it looks cute in it. So I leave them there. I was too lazy to go back because I already packed stuff up and picked them out to put back. And I know this is only for this challenge. So I just leave those 2 there. I mean, if I was going to leave them out, I would add more because they look really cute. It's very simple, quick and easy. And that's just it. So with all that have been said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell. Also, make sure you share this video with your friends and family. This way they won't miss out. Also, guys, please go ahead and type me a comment. Let me know which one of these DIY was your favorite. Okay? I'll be waiting to hear from you guys. Now you know what time it is. As I always say, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Until next time, be blessed.